Good pods of YouTube, happy Thursday or Friday to all my hacks out there. Hopefully y'all having a good day depending on when I do decide to upload this, just because it's going to take a lot of editing to do. Now, as you can tell, this is my 100th battle special. Now, don't worry, I will not be doing this for the rest of my uploads. I might just do this when I have a special, like this is my 100th battle. And big shout out to my good friend 355JT who actually made me this whole template. Make sure to go check him out. His channel link is down in the description. As well as to go check out my opponent, which is MajorMaru912. So both of the links will be down in the description, and make sure to go check them out. And with that, how about we get right into the team preview? So, biggest threat I see from his team is automatically the Zoroark, because Zoroark can disguise himself as Azelf, Roserade, or Heracross, all which my Xatu can fairly check and deal with, so I have to make sure not to switch it into one of those and possibly risk it being the Zoroark and getting hit with a Night Daze or a Dark Pulse. Next threat is going to be the Roserade, just because, as you see from my team, I do not have a Poison type, and I do not have a Rapid Spinner, so I have to keep my Xatu around to deal with that. Then finally, the biggest threat is going to be the Swampert, just because I do not have Hidden Power Grass on my Rotom. I actually have Hidden Power Ice, and the only Grass move I have is on my Xatu, which is Grass Knot. So yeah, unless I status it or have my Xatu out on it, then Swampert's going to be a pain to deal with. Now, Heracross, not a problem because I do have my Suicune. Azelf is checked fairly well by my Porygon 2, and Rotom is just not a threat whatsoever. But yeah, the battle's already started, so how about we get right into it? I will be leading off with my Bronzong, as he's going to be leading off with the Azelf. Now, on the off chance that if he was a Zoroark, I decided to go for the Gyro Ball, but here he does reveal to be the Azelf, because Zoroark cannot learn Fire Blast, it can only learn Flamethrower, and Azelf does learn Fire Blast. But yeah, unfortunately, I just barely missed out on the KO, but then again, if he did have the Sash, then I am able to break that. But knowing I am going to get KO'd by another Fire Blast, I'm going to take this opportunity to go out into my Porygon 2 as he switches down to his Swampert. Now, knowing he's possibly not going to get up the rocks and maybe just go for a Waterfall, Scald, or Roar, I'm going to stay in and go for the Tri-Attack. But he actually ends up switching out to Rotom, not Rotom, but Hitmontop. Now, you're going to see from this battle that Tri-Attack does not have a 20% chance to freeze, burn, or paralyze. Trust me. But I do get a significant good chunk of damage off from the Rotom. As this turn, I switch out to my Suicune because I don't want to bring in my Xatu on the off chance that maybe he does carry the Stone Edge. But he actually ends up going for the Rapid Spin. Not really sure why, maybe it was a misclick, but if he had gone for the Toxic, I have Rest. If he had gone for the Close Combat, that would do absolutely nothing, and if he had gone for the Stone Edge, that would have done nothing. But he does actually go for the Toxic. Now, as I said, I'm not worried about the Toxic because this is actually my Rest Talk, Roar, Scald, Suicune, so I'm going to take this opportunity and switch out to my Xatu, knowing that he's going to switch out to his Roserade. And here, oh my god, I was extremely happy when I made this double switch. So I'm going to go straight for the Side Shock, knowing that it's going to KO. No. He lived with 1% HP. Above that, he poisons me. Why? Random number generator, why do you hate me? Ugh. So this turn I'm going to say, stupidly go for another Side Shock, knowing that he's going to switch out into the Zoroark. I was just mad. That's why I didn't go for U-turn. It's just basically the simplest way to put it. So this turn I'm just going to switch out to my Bronzong. Now I didn't want to bring in my Porygon 2 on the off chance that he did predict that and go for the Focus Blast. But now I've lost my Stealth Rocker. To my anger. Joyous joy, everybody. Joyous joy. But yeah, I go into my Porygon 2, and he goes for a Nasty Plot. Now he's just getting cocky. Well, I don't know if he is, but this Tri-Attack is barely going to miss out on the KO. But I was thinking, hey, I can burn him, freeze him, or paralyze him. Nope. He barely lives, and this turn, knowing that he's going to go for the Focus Blast, I'm going to switch out to my specially defensive Xatu, because, as I said, especially defensive, and I do 4 times resist that. But because I am poisoned, the key player of this battle is gonna die because I have nothing I want to switch in on a +2 stab Night Daze. So yeah, this battle just got significantly harder for me. Joy. Oh, but yeah, whatever. So it is a double down because of the leftovers. As I'm gonna switch out to my Rotom because I can just go for a Volt Switch. But this turn, knowing that he's not gonna leave the Heracross in on my Rotom, and knowing he's gonna switch out to Swampert, I'm actually going to make another double switch out into my Porygon 2 as he actually does go out into the Swampert. So yeah, I'm back in the driver's seat, gonna go straight for a Tri-Attack, knowing that, you know what, I can get a freeze, I can get a burn. Nope, I get nothing. And he gets up his rocks. Joy. But you know what, knowing that he's just going to go for a Waterfall / Scald or the Roar, I'm gonna stay in, go for another Tri-Attack, hope to get one of those three status moves, and again, I don't get it. And above that, he rolls me onto Crocodile. So now I'm going to be forced to switch out to my Suicune because it is the best thing I have to deal with this Swampert at this moment in time because I lost my Xatu and I don't have Hidden Power Grass on my Rotom. So yeah, this turn I'm going to make, I don't know if this would be a dumb play or a smart play, but I'm actually going to go for the rest. And I made this play, so I don't even know why I did go for the rest. I should have gone possibly for the Scald just to try to get the burn, but yeah, I go for the rest. I honestly don't know why. As he roars me out into Rotom. Now, he actually decides to stay in on my Rotom when I could possibly be carrying the Hidden Power Grass, which you know I'm fine with because I am able to trick off the Choice Scarf and I am able to lock him into one move, which is the Waterfall. But because I got poisoned, lost my Xatu to my anger, I lose my Rotom. So yeah, I am down 3-5 and I have to start making some good plays and starting to make a comeback, or I'm just about to get destroyed. But yeah, I'm switching out to Rotom and I'm going to go straight for the Tri-Attack as he switches out into him on top. Again, no burn, freeze, paralysis. So yeah, knowing that Close Combat is going to be doing a very good chunk of damage to me, I'm actually going to switch out into my Suicune, but he goes for the Toxic. Not really too sure why. I guess he knows that Close Combat won't KO me, so the Toxic on my Porygon 2 would be better in the long run, I suppose. But yeah, knowing that him on top cannot do anything to me, I'm actually going to stay in and go for the Sleep Talk. Now, this was really risky, but I knew because Roserade was at such low HP that he was not going to switch out into that, because if I did get the Scald, I could easily KO it. So yeah, staying in there and Sleep Talking was the better play I could have done, as he reveals to have Flame Orb on his Heracross, and above that he goes for the Substitute. I guess maybe thinking I would switch out, but honestly, Heracross can do nothing to Suicune, even if it does have Burn. Even if it does have Guts activated, sorry. So I managed to pull the Scald and break the Substitute. Again, if I had pulled a Roar and roared him out to Roserade, that really would have sucked for me. So I'm going to stay in, knowing I can take a Mega Horn or Close Combat. Now this is Guts boosted and stabbed, and oh my god, Suicune took that like a monster, yes. So I am free to get off a Scald. Now next turn, knowing that a combination of Scald and Burn will be able to KO him, I'm actually going to rest up, and he goes for the Swords Dance! What? Hello? If I had actually gone for the Scald, which arguably I should have gone for the Scald, I would have KO'd him. Now, I don't know if he predicted me to go for the rest. I don't know if he misclicked. I don't know if he was just firing off the Heracross, but either way, my Suicune is going to get decimated by +2 Guts boosted stab Close Combat. Hello? I'm just going to start narrating from here. So he goes down to Rotom as I go out into my Porygon 2 because it was a double down. Now because I did trace the Intimidate, I am able to intimidate him. Now knowing that he's a -1, I know I will be able to take a Close Combat like a monster. So I'm going to stay in and go for a Tri-Attack, and he does go for the Toxic, and now I get some hacks, and that crit was completely useless. Ugh, anger. Okay. Oh my god. He goes out to Roserade, and because I just barely missed out on the KO with Side Shock, he's able to rest up and be at around 65% HP, and you're just going to see how crucial that is later on in this battle as he goes on to his Azelf. Now, I actually switched out to my Crocodile because I knew if he didn't go into Swampert, I would be in a good situation. Now, because his Azelf outsped me, I know that he is Scarfed just because my Crocodile is Scarfed. But luckily, since Fire Blast and not stabbed, is neutral, and Crocodile have alright defenses, I am able to take that as he brings in Swampert, and I go for the +1 crunch, and do not KO. So he's just able to revenge KO me with the Waterfall as I'm just down to my Porygon 2, and because I am poisoned, the battle is pretty much in his favor, and for some reason I just decided to go for the recover. I really don't know why, when he could have just flinched me and possibly made it a 2-0 victory instead of a 1-0 as it's going to be. So yeah, I should have just gone straight for the Tri-Attack and just allowed Roserade to kill me as I do go for the Tri-Attack this turn, and he's really going to be able to bring in the Roserade, revenge kill me with the Sludge Bomb for the very narrow 1-0 victory in his favor. Even though I did lose, that was a very, very fun game nonetheless. Had a good time. And yeah, make sure to go check out my opponent. Make sure to go check out 355JT. And with that, guys, if you did enjoy the battle, the special as well, please feel free to click the like button down there and the subscribe button over there if this is my first battle you're seeing. And with that, guys, I really don't have anything else to say, and I'm out of here. Later.